Ryan Freeman, who is a producer for Halloween Ends, Halloween Kills, he hints that after Halloween Ends, the franchise could explore Season of the Witch after Halloween Ends. Darkwing Duck territory here. Here's what he says.
Darkwing Duck.
All
Let's
right.
get dangerous.
He
Get
says,
me masks.
I think there are other ways and other mediums in which to explore this franchise, Freeman confirmed. I wouldn't necessarily say, I mean, there's always interest in exploring Season of the Witch again. Is it something we'd race to do? I don't know. Our focus has been COVID delays, figuring out how to do Halloween Ends and shoot it, COVID protocols on that, all of those things coming out of that. That's been our focus. But I think it would be something where we explore other outside areas of the Halloween universe. I think after this many films too, we have to look at other places just to get a little bit more creative, right?
Jeez. I don't know, man. I don't know. I like, here's the thing. I know that Halloween 3 has got its fans, and no doubt I hated it when I was a kid and I watched it. I thought it was fucking stupid, and I didn't really get it until I got older and I watched it again because I wanted to see Michael Myers, right? I think Halloween 3 has had its time and place, and I think it was a good experiment. I think it failed. I think that John Carpenter, he'd even gone on record and said before that he thought that Halloween could be one of those things where he could tell multiple stories over the Halloween night and not just focus on Michael Myers. Well, guess what? The Cobra came and struck you in the anus, and it said Michael Myers is where the magic is, and Michael Myers is what's associated with the Halloween brand, and Michael Myers is what people want to go see. Season of the Witch, if you remake it and you try to do something new with it, fine, you can do that. But at the same time, if you're trying to use this as a platform to jump off into a new era with Halloween, it's already happened before. They tried it. It failed. Nobody wants to see it. The thing is, hardcore Halloween fans or hardcore fans of Season of the Witch may want to go out and see it. The fact of the matter is, Halloween Season of the Witch, Halloween 3 season, was a failure. And I like the movie, but in comparison with everything else they've done in the Halloween franchise concerning Michael Myers, is a flat flop. It does not work. John Carpenter had to admit that. And I felt bad for John Carpenter because it was the same thing with Wes Craven. Wes Craven didn't want anything to go past Nightmare on Elm Street 1. He was like, I'm going to tell an awesome story, and then that's it. And they kept on churning out movies because they realized how incredible Freddy Krueger was and the potential dollar signs in his butt cheeks. And they wanted to keep squeezing that for the MTV generation. The same thing with Michael Myers. John Carpenter didn't want to go further than probably the first one. He gave him a chance in the second one to tell the whole complete story. And then the Season of the Witch came out. He was fully supportive of it because he wanted to leave behind Michael Myers. Mm-hmm. It failed. Again, it failed. I mean, and this is on record and everybody knows it. So
and it was because of bad promotion, though. They didn't tell people Michael would be in it.
Well, yeah. And because you created an awesome character that everyone loved, that everyone got behind. And it was so not even polarizing. It was just so magnetic. That character of Michael Myers was so magnetic. So many people loved it. Then you just shift gears on them really quick and then put a finger in their butt and say, guess what? We're going to talk about something that's not related to Michael Myers. People were like, fuck that. You're not going to call it Halloween and get our asses in the seat and take our money. And Michael Myers isn't even going to be in it. So I don't know.
I see and I agree with you about everything you're saying about Halloween 3 and why it didn't work. But what I'm thinking here when I read that too at the same time is he's saying, what do we do after Halloween ends? Or what are you going to do after Halloween ends? And it seems like he kind of brought off, I don't know, Season of the Witch seems to be interesting to people, which if you remember when Halloween 2018 was announced, there was a lot of people who were saying, why not just do the Season of the Witch thing? Mm-hmm. Why do we have to keep going back to Michael versus Laurie? Do Season of the Witch, do that. And I always disagree with it. And here's why. You can do an anthology. VHS 94 is coming out in a couple days. You can do an anthology and do a horror anthology and have it be about anything. You can title it anything. Why do you have to use the Halloween title to make a horror anthology? You know what I mean? So why do your Halloween, do a horror anthology, but
that's what I mean.
Halloween.
Because it's easier for them to keep the brand name because they know that it's guaranteed money for them. And Tomo Gato is actually correct. He was like, why not just call it Season of the Witch? Don't put Halloween in the front of it.
That's true too. And here's where I land on that though. I also understand where he's coming from because what we're all wondering is after Halloween Ends is over with, right? Halloween Ends is done. David Gordon Green's had his trilogy. It was put in the spotlight. It was, this big, huge thing. And then now what do we do? We don't have Laurie anymore. And I know what you and I want. What you and I want is to see Michael Myers Unchained. Let's either go back
to break free.
either go back and pick it up, the Thorn storyline or one of the previous storylines, which would be hard to market because you have all of these casuals who don't understand. It'll be very confused. I get that. Do you do a Netflix series? I would like to see reboot it. Now hear me out. Reboot it from the standpoint of a Netflix series. Start from the beginning, but then go into the Thorn stuff, go into everything, keep it all in canon and see what you can do season by season.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
I think that we talked about that before, even exploring. And I feel like you have time when Halloween Ends comes out. There's time in between to figure out what you want to make your move on, because then you could do the Dr. Loomis files. You could do multiple things that could go to HBO or whatever and make a killing and do a justice to the series and present backstory. Then you can do whatever you want. I don't think it needs to be rushed. I mean, they're like, oh, what should we do after Halloween Ends? Yes, people want to see Michael Myers back on the big screen, no doubt. Right after Halloween Ends, they'll be like, well, what's next year going to be? But you don't want to turn it into a Saw franchise when every fucking October, you know, even though I would like that, and I know you would like that. Yeah. Every October another Michael Myers things comes out, but I understand that they want to make sure that it's a great story. I don't know, but you don't have to rush it. So I mean, this idea that something has to be done after Ends is stupid.
Now, I do want something to be done after Ends, but I think that actually lands in the same question though, because here's what I'm saying, and this is what I was kind of getting at, is that I don't want Halloween to turn it into an anthology that forgets Michael Myers at all. But if we want to keep the Halloween brand name in front of people while Michael Myers percolates and they think of a really good way to continue his story in the background, I think we're looking at after Halloween Ends. It's just like with the Bond movies. Okay, when Daniel Craig's done, how many years is it going to be until they start a new Bond movie, right? I feel the same way about Halloween Ends.
Hey guys, this is Mark Wahlberg, and I just wanted to take a second to talk to you about We Watched a Movie. They got a really good Patreon going on over there. They'll do videos for you based on any of their characters. They'll do commentaries for you. They'll do movie reviews for you. They got behind-the-scenes videos. You got 20% off of all their merch. They'll even make you your own video store card like Blockbuster back in the day. They got commentaries just sitting there waiting to be fucked by your movie ears. I'll put the link below. We gotta outrun the wind.